Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
Steve Tisch has got to go. This is the stuff that The Athletic is reporting today about the owner of the New York Giants. There's no way you can let this guy keep representing the Giants or the NFL. That's it. And we know that Roger Goodell was able to get through the big press conference, his State of the League Super Bowl press conference, and he was able to pay lip service to the possibility of something resembling fact gathering that could be an investigation. Basically, his job, and I understood what he was trying to do at that press conference, but Roger Goodell's job was to get to the end of the press conference by indicating concern without necessarily committing to the actual process of holding the owner of the New York Giants. Like, this is not the Jaguars. This is not the Arizona Cardinals. It's the New York Giants. And you've got an owner now with the reporting that's being done and everything that is happening with reporters from The Athletic and elsewhere going through dozens of emails that Tisch exchanged with Jeffrey Epstein. And this was after Epstein was already, the people already knew what was going on. It was more of an open secret. He had already registered as, I think, a level 3 sex offender at that point, and he's still connecting Tisch with various women of various ages from various backgrounds. And they did this all in email. All this, these correspondences, it's all there.
That's how you behave, though, when you feel like you're invincible, and then no one's held accountable for anything they do.
And this is, I was thinking about this as we were talking about, what we talk about supposedly within, nominally discussing the world of sports. And it's really incredible because it's hard to do this outside of the larger context. And the larger context is, at the moment, as the Epstein files, if you picture this, like, we talk about needles in haystacks, that this is the millions and millions and millions of electronic documents. We're talking about a haystack, the likes of which we've never seen. And to know there are needles in there, it's full of needles. And you can keep shoving your hand in the haystack and keep stabbing yourself and saying, ow, 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 ow. But when you're trying to find patterns and trying to use all of this half-assed, redacted data, I mean, the garbage work that has been done in trying to even present this information, where they're redacting names of offenders, including names of victims. We found out yesterday that there was a picture depicting an undercover government officer. So you've got a blown cover there, which is completely anathema. If we had people who still cared about stuff like this, that is an awful thing that can endanger people and operations under deep cover in the field. And we don't even know what could be endangered and how these people where they could be right now. And you're putting out actual identifications of their faces of undercover national governmental officers. I mean, we're supposed to be the good guys.
Right.
And those are the ones that you're hurting, and the bad guys are being protected right now.
Well, no, so, it's not even, and they're not even redacting all of the names of the victims. Some victims' names and personal information
that's what I mean.
has been exposed.
Correct. And there have been,
but we're hiding the guys who perpetrated all these activities and all of the sex trafficking and rape and crimes against underage girls. It's testing our ability to understand everything that's going on. And some of the stuff that was said at that embarrassment yesterday. Oh, that was terrible, dude.
Absolutely embarrassing. But
yes.
but when Thomas Massie came out and said, look, this is multiple administrations. This isn't just now. This is decades. And to have the information out there, and we're talking about investing. It's not really investigation right now. It's the reporting is it's the legwork. It's actually going through. It's going to take months to get through, to know what all this is and was, with millions of documents still pending.
Right.
And people are saying, "Oh, well, that's over now. We're on to the next thing." No.
It's not over. It's not even close to being over.
It isn't even close to being done beginning yet. And at the very least, what's amazing here is that we have to count on a private business, that being the NFL. And just trust me when I say the irony of asking the NFL to act is not lost on me. The irony of saying, well, who's in charge here? Someone has to make a decision. Someone has to do what's right. As quaint as that sounds, the idea of something being the right thing to do, at the very least, when we're looking at Roger Goodell as a leader of something that could actually hold sway for the correct reasons, to hold somebody in his orbit, under his auspices, to his standard of conduct, and kind of like, hey, well, the language of your personal conduct policy says certain things here. At a minimum, this has to be past the threshold of a placement on the commissioner's exempt list of some kind of suspension for the NFL to say, we are going to investigate, we are going to look everything over, we are aware of these emails, these dozens of emails. This isn't one insinuation about a thing. Read them. Read what The Athletic put out there today.
Yeah, because what's out there right now, Dan, is enough for Roger Goodell to say immediately out of everyday operations for the new Giants or for the New York Giants. Until we conclude our investigation. But right now, and there isn't a question of if he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. It's a matter of he was involved. We're going to investigate this further. It stops immediately. Like, his activity stops today until we conclude our own internal investigation.
And it was The Athletic that that first reported that Tisch and Epstein had been connected. The Giants' statement that came out then characterized the association as brief, emphasized the women discussed were adults, and said, as we all know, Epstein was a terrible person, someone I deeply regret associating with. That was Tisch. On Wednesday, a Giants spokesman said the team would have no further comment. An NFL spokesperson referred to Commissioner Goodell's comments last week that the league, quote, would look at the context of the emails and try to understand that. What are you trying to understand?
Right.
I'm an idiot. And I can understand some of these things. And I can understand that this is enough, that pursuant to the NFL's code of conduct, just what they say about what they expect, and that every level you go up, there should be a higher expectation of certain behavioral standards when you're talking about the ownership level.
Right.
So in April 2013, when Epstein is emailing Tisch to join him for breakfast, and Tisch says 20 minutes later, absolutely. When Epstein said Tisch was blown away in a positive way. He thinks you are wonderful and interesting. When that meeting occurred, Epstein had already been sued repeatedly by sex abuse victims. He'd already served 13 months of work release. He'd already registered as, this is right, a level 3 sex offender, the highest risk to reoffend. And the New York Post had already called him a billionaire pervert and a child sex creep. And Tisch was still involved with him.
Yep.
Still.
I don't know what more you need to know.
I mean, if you read these emails, they are in The Athletic, in the New York Times, under Athletic NFL. This should not take long. This should be the NFL immediately stepping in and saying, we're not accusing you of anything. We are not acting on anything other than right now. Without any prejudice, we are removing you from the day-to-day operations of the football team under the guidelines of our personal conduct policy.
Right.
That's simple.
Pending the outcome of our investigation, period.
Yeah, and that investigation might take weeks, it might take months. And this is already just from what we know.
Right.
This is, and the reason I was using the haystack analogy is that the reporting, it isn't like these are people who are staking out parking garages. They're not ambushing people in restaurants. The documents are all there. It's just a matter of painstakingly going through each one.
And getting them all released, first of all, too.
Well, there's another 3 million or 5 million that they're sitting on.
Right. And you said something earlier about this is not just this administration, it's multiple administrations. I just want to make this very, very, very clear to everyone on behalf of this podcast. We don't care who's named in these files. We don't care. There is no political affiliation. There is no, oh, I liked that guy or I liked that gal. It doesn't matter. There is nothing that would say for us to say, you know what, we want to protect this guy but not protect that guy because of his political affiliation or his party that he supports. We don't care. We don't
everybody.
care. We don't care who's in the files. If you're named and you committed crimes, you should be punished and held accountable for those crimes. Period.
And even
I don't care who it is.
No, and short of crimes, that's the irony, is that to say do something NFL, like that even is just sounds so silly. But that's what we have to resort to when you've got a commerce secretary who should have resigned a week ago. You've got multiple people within and without the United States government that don't see this as in any way disqualifying. That we have to say, come on, Roger Goodell, do something. Do somebody in power do what's right about involvement with child sex trafficking.
Right.
It's insane.
It's mind-blowing. Yeah,
it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, who can do something? I don't know. The commissioner of a football league?
Right.
But at the very least, show that somebody gives a shit.
Right, because right now that's not what we're seeing from our elected officials.
Does somebody
and the fact
anywhere
that
give a shit?
Yeah, that people in charge just want to move past it and move on. Let's talk about the good things. Let's talk about the Dow. Let's talk about the NASDAQ. Why are you talking about these things? This is over. It's a witch hunt. It's a scandal. It's a hoax. It's not. And again,
no,
I
it's
don't
not
care
a witch
who's
hunt if
involved.
there's this many witches, and it doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter what their name is. It doesn't matter who they've given money to. It doesn't matter what offices they held. It doesn't matter. Get them all.
Yes.
Identify all of them. Punish all of them.
Yeah,
this
I
was a
don't care.
massive, multi-decade sex trafficking, child prostitution horror, and everybody's I don't know. Do something. Talk about something else. Do something about it. It is so. If we're counting on a fucking football league to set the example here, it's by its very nature. For me to start this, for me to sit down here and say, well, the owner of the Giants, at the very least, cannot be allowed to own the Giants anymore or have anything to do with their football business. It's ridiculous that I even have been saying that. Like, what are we talking about? And yet, it's in the absence of anybody willing to do right by the victims. Nobody. We saw the victims there. We saw the victims there, sitting there yesterday, and people couldn't even meet their gaze, couldn't even look at them. This is looked at as an annoyance to the people who are being exposed.
Right.
And the victims are just a bother, just bugging you. Oh, we care, sitting in the background. Somebody pay attention, and it kills me. And I know it is an absolutely proper response to think, oh boy, isn't this ridiculous? And you care about football? I care about all of it. I care about absolutely all of it. But at the very least, I want at least some organization somewhere to set an example by saying, as far as we're concerned, at the very least, your deep involvement with this man who is trafficking children around the world through sex slavery, and this was the world's the international pimp ring for the elites. Listen to me. I sound like a crazy person.
You do sound like a crazy person.
At the very least, somebody say this isn't okay. Right. Somebody in this country. In other countries, there are people immediately stepping down from their posts in shame. Immediately saying, "Yeah, this is pretty bad, and I'm ashamed and embarrassed." In other countries, this is costing people positions of power. And I'm looking to Roger fucking Goodell to show that it's sorry, I'm crashing out over it.
Yeah, no, it's good. But and to hear Steve Tisch say, or his representatives or the team, that, oh, the women that were being talked about were of legal age. Okay, but let's just say that's true and accurate. You're using this guy to meet women? Like, come on now. Like, how stupid do you expect people to be? I know people can be pretty stupid in this country. They can be real stupid and fall for a lot and believe a lot of lies. But you have a guy, a known sex offender, evidence after evidence after evidence of child sex trafficking. Oh, that's just a guy that I used to meet women of legal age. That's all that was. Really? Come on now. Really, if that's the only source you had to meet women of legal age was Jeffrey Epstein? Come on.
You're a Hollywood producer.
Right. Come on. You could go out to a restaurant and meet women of legal age all on your own. You go out to a bar, you could add a number of dating apps, you can meet friends, whatever. Like, oh no, I just used him to meet women of legal age. Okay, pal. That sounds legit.
All Epstein did was grab individual women and continue shipping them to Tisch. Here's one. What do you think of this one? What do you think of that one? Oh, she's cute. She's got and talking. You've got to read the emails. I'm not going to sit here and go through every one of them.
Right.
You can read the reporting that is being done very carefully right now by The Athletic, and they're just getting started. This is Nathan Fenno, Carson Kessler, and Katie Strang. And that's a name, Katie's name. Strang. Yeah, you should know that well from what she's done about sex offenders in hockey and elsewhere, and taking on some bigger names here. And it's just immensely frustrating to have to wait for somebody anywhere to stand up and say, this isn't okay. That somehow in this country, this is just being rolled in to everything else. I don't know. It's just what people do. I don't know. It just makes no sense. All right, let's see what's on TikTok. Let's see what the Real Housewives of something are doing. Like, can anybody have the capacity to understand how big this is and why somebody has to lead?
No, we've heard from several members of Congress who have come out of these hearings and have said that this is going to be the largest scandal and cover-up in American government history.
And beyond government. See, this is why when we're talking about other organizations, private business, the NFL being one of them, the NFL, which in such capacity has such an outsized impact on our lives. I mean, our lives, obviously. We're in the sports talk business. So we know how powerful the NFL is. And it's just, it's criminal to think that it's like, oh, save us NFL. You set the example.
Right. Set the
National Football League. Right. That's where we have to look because nobody else is willing to actually do anything. Come on, man.
Right. So at the bare minimum right now, Goodell should just say, yep, you're excused from day-to-day operations pending the outcome of our investigation. There's enough there to say this is our first and accurate step. Period.
Yes. Yeah. There's absolutely more than enough.
Right.
More than based on. Wait, do you remember the outcry over Robert Kraft getting his crank yanked?
Right.
That was, you talking about, we thought that was some international incident that Robert Kraft went to a rub and tug
Yep.
for himself. And we know that those places are huge traffickers of women. We've always known that, but that wasn't in writing. This is all in writing. This isn't allegation. The emails exist. And at one point in the emails, Tisch even says, we probably shouldn't be emailing about this. Mm-hmm. That's how stupid they are.
Right.
That there is a point in the emails, he's like, is there a number I can call? I'd rather not do this in writing.
But why not do it in writing?
Doing it in writing?
But why not do it in writing if you're just meeting women of legal age? If he's just hooking you up with friends that are females that are of legal age, why not do it in writing? That's okay. I mean, if we were single guys and I was introducing you to people and we could do it in email and be like, oh, Dan, there's a great gal. I want you to meet her. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing it in writing. Then why hide it? Why hide it if it was all legal?
Yeah, of what are you afraid?
Anything illegal or inappropriate. Why hide it?
Yeah, of what are you afraid?
Right.
I mean, it is absolutely, I'm running out of words. Yeah, I really am, because this is just the owner of the Giants. This is just, a movie producer had a couple of hits, and they're big hits. It was Forrest Gump and Risky Business.
Yeah, I mean, and he owns a football team, or he's co-owner of a football team.
I mean, that's a higher slugging percentage than it is batting average.
Yeah,
and fine. There's a million of those low rent guys, and people can say, "Oh, that's just how Hollywood does business." Okay, well, Harvey Weinstein's in jail, and until Brett Ratner directed a movie that Jeff Bezos decided to do on his own, Brett Ratner was out of the business for being a creep at the very least.
Right.
If one of the NFL owners is an absolute cretin, he should be removed based on the NFL's stated policy.
Right. Don't come out and tell me about all the things that players have done,
right,
and have dishonored the shield.
Come on.
Don't tell me all that. Don't tell me all that if you're going to let this guy just slide.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never again. If this isn't enough to eventually force him out of ownership, if somehow say, well, he's just going to be suspended and he'll pass it down to his sons or whoever is going to do it, like there have to be consequences.
Right.
So I apologize if I am funneling a lot of anger into this in particular, and if I am struggling to communicate the size of what's going on right now. But in the absence of the actual elected and appointed leaders of the most powerful government in the world showing any whit of shame, any iota of concern for the victims and their role in the ongoing victimizations, that I've got to look to the NFL, because I'm looking for lower hanging fruit, because I'm so frustrated at the idea of everybody just shrugging this off. And it's multiple administrations. It's multiple decades. It's more than one generation that was affected and involved in victimizing God knows how many girls from countries all over the world. We're just in the Steve Tisch stuff. We're talking about Tahiti and Ukraine. They specifically mentioned Kiev of where they were going to farm these potential victims. And it's the scope of it is they're relying on the scope of it being so huge that it's breaking a lot of systems by which we talk about it. All we have are these details, but look, you just know that growing haystack over there is full of needles, and what we're going to have to do is just get a massive electromagnet over the top of it to just pull them all out and examine each one individually. And part of the design of dismantling much of the news media, of Alden Capital and other private equity firms destroying local news, destroying the mechanism of reporting is for these reasons. When your news media is dismantled by the 11 billionaires we hope are nice on a given day, it takes away the power to investigate these things, the power to contextualize these things. That's why it is all part of the same idea of protecting people from punishment for these kinds of atrocities and allowing them to operate with impunity. And it is when we can say that the gold standard of accountability is the NFL, that's where we are.
Well, yeah, when we're asking that to be,
we're
asking the NFL to be,
we're asking, please, right. Roger Goodell, do at the very least suspend an NFL owner for this behavior. When you got a commerce secretary that's at Pedophile Island with his children? Oh, we were just there for lunch. Stop it at fucking Stuckey's. You don't go to Pedophile Island where you happen for lunch. Kids, you hungry? Well, figure out what you want. We'll stop. That exit, I see the signs on the exit. Let's see. Subway, McDonald's, Pedophile Island. How's that for everybody? Want to go to, that's okay, fine. We'll go to Pedophile Island. Ridiculous. Infuriating and ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very disheartening when we're seeing individuals in leadership, elected officials in leadership that are meant to serve the people and represent the people. And it's these individuals in power that just aren't being held accountable for their actions. And we've seen it throughout for decades and decades and decades in our government.
It's right here, though. Now we've got the paper trail.
Right. And we saw it, though, jump up to a new level of a lack of accountability for actions in this current administration. It goes back a dozen years now.
I've never seen anything like it. I
thought
Watergate was bad,
but to have what's really like to have women though as a part of it, protecting old rich white guys, protecting
the victims
them.
were right there. The victims were standing right there.
It's really sad. It's really sad to see the crumbling. What's crumbling in our society of just the basic principles of accountability for doing wrong. It's not there.
And I can't.
That's on a really minor way to put it over the crimes that were perpetrated by these individuals that are all there in paper for you to read. And not only that, it's being protected. Like we've talked about, the victims are being exposed. Victims are being exposed while the men who committed these crimes, men and women, the evil people, are being protected.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have individuals in charge right now that can actually do things about it, are saying there's nothing there. There's no evidence of anything. There's no evidence of wrongdoing. Why would we do anything? Look at all the things that are happening around us that are so great. You're ignoring because you're focusing on this hoax.
So I feel gross making it about a decision that the National Football League should.
But don't feel gross because I get your point to it. It's like we're looking at the NFL, a private boys club of sports. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's nothing meaningful or real or impactful or important in life. It's a sport. It's a game. It's a private club. And we're asking the commissioner to set the tone over our elected officials in our government of what is wrong and what is right. And that's pretty pathetic.
Yep, it is. It is. And I hate to segue into the Bulls, but if you want to save your eyes from pain, limit your Bulls exposure, because as there's certain of us who are trained for this. I'm good at watching bad basketball. I'm great at watching bad basketball. My son is even better than I am. He loves bad basketball almost. And only those of us with specific bad basketball training should be allowed to venture into the hazmat area that is watching the Bulls right now. It is just a bunch of dudes out there.
I watched the first half, and that's where I checked out. That was enough.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want, I'll tell you this: we had a blast on OWC yesterday, and we did detailed scouting reports on basically the 7 new bulls. Here's what we've seen over 3 games, 3.5 games, whatever we're watching. Here's what it looks like. Here's what matters. Here's what's going on. But oh boy, is that's going to be rough. And it's good that it's rough because losing out would be perfect. And if they continue to care about defense to the extent that they are at the moment, losing out might happen, and they might end up with a really, really good basketball player. You can go and keep hitting Tankathon, spin that wheel as many times as you want, and see if you can get the Bulls a top 3 pick. But it is it burns the eyes, it stings the nostrils, it does horrible things to your digestive system, but you got to really know how to zero in on some individual players. And the problem is, because they're not playing with Josh Giddey, they can't answer the biggest scouting question. The biggest scouting question right now is, how do any of these people fit on a team that is run by Josh Giddey? We have no idea. And until he comes back, we're not going to know. And maybe they're not going to bring him back because they don't want him to help them win. So it's all very confusing.
Yeah, it's really difficult to see him sitting on the bench and then to hear the announcer say, "Oh, just wait till these guys get to play all together to see what you have and who you have." Well, when's that going to happen? If that's even going to happen.
Correct. Did you listen last night? Because the game basically devolved into Stacy and Adam making fun of Adam Amin's friends who were there in the crowd. And they showed all these college buddies, and Adam Amin was noting, he's like, "Oh, well, this guy played Major League Baseball, and this is a broadcast guy, and we were all in school together." And Stacy said, "I thought that was a boy band." And then he said, "Yeah, it's a boy band called Midlife Crisis." And then he said, "Adam, well, you got kicked out of the band because you're not sitting with them. So all of their work." And then they were just doing shtick for the rest of the game.
Well, I don't blame them.
Well, yeah, because it's better than actually describing what's going on the court.
It was like 72-44 at halftime.
Yeah, it was not
something
great.
like that.
Yeah, but
fortunately,
it's okay.
I had like dinners to make and driving and practices to drop off. So I again watched the first half with Hank, and then after that, I was good.
Well, you weren't good.
I mean, I was good to not watch. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So you know what I was doing afterward? You know what made my life better? Because there was a knock on the door yesterday. And it's rare. It was weird because
wasn't ice?
No, it wasn't. I had forgot that I bought Girl Scout cookies.
I forgot
because
what did you buy?
I bought Thin Mints and Tagalongs. That's the Tagalong is the chocolate covered soft peanut butter over a hard cookie.
Dude, that's so funny. I was at Sunset and I was leaving, and there's Girl Scouts. They were selling cookies, and I bought 2 boxes, and I bought Thin Mints and Tagalongs.
Yep, those are the best.
I never know the name of the chocolate peanut butter ones. I always just say, "Where's the chocolate peanut butter?"
Tagalongs.
I took a box of those, and then the boys like Thin Mints, so that's why. Yeah, that's funny. We got the same order.
Yep, and I remember, and like, oh yeah, that was the best feeling. Like forgetting, I had already paid
it's like
cash.
$5.20 in your pocket. Yeah,
better. Like I'd already paid cash, and then it's like, oh, somebody's at my door handing me these things as if they're free because I'd forgotten about it.
That's great.
And by like Dan math, I said, "Oh, free cookies. Didn't you already pay cash?" I forgot. So I forgot. Right. So now that I've forgotten, this is essentially free.
And how many did you eat? What did you eat?
I think I did very well. I had 5 Tagalongs and I had 5 Thin Mints.
Okay.
That's it. But that was after I ate half a coffee cake.
Ooh, what kind?
Pecan cinnamon icing drizzle.
Mariano's?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I have a couple Tagalongs left. I think I'm not going to have to eat them out after we're done recording.
Yeah, but it was just that. So that I will say, if you are going to watch Bulls basketball, this is my prescription. This is Dr. Basketball Face here. If you are going to watch Bulls basketball, do not watch Bulls basketball without a proper amount of Girl Scout cookies, because that counterbalances it.
It's very good. That's a great recommendation.
Right? That makes everything okay.
Yep. Very good. Girl Scout cookies make everything better. So yesterday we talked about the Norman Rockwell painting that is that made its way to the Art Institute about the Cubs, and it's called the Dugout. Well, you had that little story. So my buddy Max, he coached
buddy
Max. Yeah, he coached Jackson for I think 4 seasons in Libertyville baseball.
Okay.
Sent me this article. And I don't know if you were aware of this at the time, but this is from the New York Times, and this is from November 4th, 2016. And Wayne Camadoy, Times art director, reveals that there was a very special image planned for the sports section that never happened back in 2016.
Okay.
So here's what happened. So November 4th, 2016. Let me get the story here. There was a reimagining of Norman Rockwell's 1948 painting, The Dugout, for the Saturday Evening Post, updated with current Chicago Cubs, Kyle Schwarber, Joe Madden, Jake Arrieta. They were sitting in the dugout. Javier Baez, his face was in the body of the Bat Boy. Okay. And then standing behind Javier Baez was Chris Bryant. So here's what the Times Sports Department, and this is the article November 4, 2016. They thought the Cleveland Indians were going to win the 2016 World Series. History was certainly on their side. The last time the Cubs had won the World Series, 1948. So true to form, the Cubs lost the first game.
Okay.
And so they thought for sure that they were headed in something in the right direction. So the art department's wheels started turning when Sam Roberts, an Obits reporter, reminded the sports desk that Rockwell had painted the scene of the dugout. Soon after, Andrea Zagata, a staff designer, was off and running. She asked Robert Carter, a freelance illustrator, to create an image that would lead the sports section front page when the Indians won the World Series. She instructed him to modernize the players. So I mentioned Kyle Schwarber, Joe Madden, Javier Baez, Chris Bryant, Jake Arrieta. So then a victory by Game 2 by the Cubs did not deter the sports editor, who said still proceed with the Rockwell-inspired illustration, which would offer a non-traditional visual approach. But they said, what happens if the Cubs were to win? The illustration would go unpublished or be spiked, as they say in the newspaper world. But they said, come on, man, that's the Cubs. Surely they'll cooperate, as they have for the past 108 years.
They didn't, and don't call me Shirley.
So down 3-1, the Cubs were ready to deliver heartbreak, and Mr. Carter quickly delivered the final artwork just as planned. Game 5, Cubs win, no worries. Game 6, Cubs win. Wait till tomorrow, Game 7. All right, everyone knows what happened. The page conceived nearly a week earlier and completed before Game 5 never made it into print.
Wow.
So you can look it up to see it, but I'll just put this up here, see if you can see.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's Baez's face on there?
Yeah, and you got Bryant behind him. There's Arrieta. Madden is slumped over, and Schwarber's next to Madden.
Wow.
And obviously they never used it because the Cubs won the World Series.
Now if you can get a print of that and get that autographed by everybody.
Oh, it'd be amazing. So my buddy Max, so he sends me this story. He's like, not sure if you guys were aware of this. So thanks for sending that, Max. But he has a copy of that blown up, the New York Times one, along with a copy of the Rockwell painting blown up and hanging in his basement side by side.
How cool is that?
Yeah, really cool, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. I wasn't aware of that story at the time, so I'm really glad that we talked about it yesterday, that he sent it to me yesterday as well.
I did not know that existed. I bet
cool?
I bet most Cubs fans didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
But and you probably wouldn't get refusals to autograph it because they
won the World Series.
Maybe Joe Madden won't because they almost didn't because of him.
Crusty.
And he's crusty.
That was November 2nd, right? Was Game 7?
Yeah.
So then they posted that story 2 days later in the Times.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow.
I'm glad that you weren't familiar with that. That's great. Next evening.
No, I had no idea. Now, I also was surprised to read something this morning, and I did not have it on my bingo card that that Paul Sullivan, in the wake of the news sports columnist for the Tribune, that he that his opinion would be like, we were making fun of it yesterday, making fun of the fact that the Art Institute had stooped to include a Norman Rockwell.
Right.
And I was kind of making fun of the Art Institute, being like, well, I guess we'll have to accept this perhaps on a temporary basis. And here comes Sully in the middle of his piece from the top rope, taking a stand for aesthetics. No, I love this, and this is awesome. If somebody had said, who is going to come in charging on his steed and stand there and say, not on my watch,
right, and to protect the honor and dignity of the Art Institute.
Yes, and it's Paul Sullivan. Let's go. This is from his column. No, I know I'm laughing because it's awesome, not because I'm making fun of Sully. I want that really clear.
Yes.
Because I think for him to be like, you know what? Screw this.
This is some bullshit.
Yes. He wrote, the Art Institute of Chicago garnered a lot of publicity Tuesday for installing Norman Rockwell's The Dugout, a 1948 illustration of slumping players and manager Charlie Grimm in the Cubs dugout and the heckling Boston Red Sox fans behind them. No offense to Rockwell or his many fans, but this would be like Chef Grant Achatz adding a Big Mac to the menu at Alinea.
That's funny.
Grant Achatz adding a Big Mac to the menu at Alinea. It's a kitschy piece of Americana, but not a great work of art, befitting a museum with the reputation of the Art Institute. A better venue for the dugout would be at Wrigley Field, where Cubs fans could take selfies in front of it.
That's so good.
I love it.
He's not wrong either.
I love it. But
not wrong at all.
But here's the thing. But see, Grant Achatz would put a Big Mac on.
But not a McDonald's Big Mac. He would do his own recreation of a Big Mac, which would be 1,000 times better than any Big Mac you've ever had.
And he would do it as an ironic commentary on Big Macs.
Yes.
So it'd be like, so I'm saying, don't threaten him with a good time, is what I'm saying. Is you put that down there and he'd be like, oh, you bet I wouldn't. Watch this. So I would love to see that happen. Is it Achatz or it is Achatz, right?
I don't think that's
right.
I don't know.
I think it's right. Sure. But I do. The one thing about him and I have not been to Alinea, that's sort of, it might be a little much even for me, but he was a huge fan of one of my late lamented favorite Chicago restaurants.
Which?
Jerry's Grill.
Oh, really?
On the corner of Western and Montrose, the 24-hour cash only. I miss it terribly.
I thought you were going to say he was a big fan of B&B. I was like, oh, shit.
Might have been.
Known that. I wish I would have known that.
No, he sure might have been. But he was a big fan of Jerry's Grill. And I loved Jerry's Grill. My kids loved Jerry's Grill. It's still not, there is something there now, but it's just not the same. COVID really sort of put the final nail in a great Chicago institution. But I saw him on television, and at one point he was eating there with the reporter. And I'm like, all right, this guy's good. That's all I need to see.
Yeah,
like,
but I can tell you right now, I've known you long enough and know you well enough that it would not be too much for you to go.
I know.
You should go to Alinea. And
I know I should.
Natalie took me for my 50th, and it was. I mean, the food was next level, and the experience overall was just something I'll never be able to experience ever again. It was amazing. Absolutely,
yeah, I know.
Entirely amazing. And it was when we were still enjoying wine at that time, and we did the wine pairing with it. The service, the individuals, it was, dude, you've got to go one time. Got to go one time. It was It was great. It was great. And his story too is really inspiring, and it's terrible at the same time. I mean, to deal with like tongue cancer and at his level of chef that he was, and had to
talk about irony,
rebuild and relearn his palate and tasting things over. I mean, it was just, he's, and I don't know the guy personally, and what I know are things I've seen on TV or heard from other individuals. A good dude, and I would love to see him do a take on like fast food, like a whole serving at Alinea of like America's favorite fast foods, and like the Big Mac would be in there, and his take on a slider, fried chicken. I mean, whatever else you could do, that would be great. But yeah, Paul Sullivan's piece, so that was outstanding. I love the idea of it being at Wrigley for people to take selfies. That's a great little punch right there.
Well, and also because Wrigley itself is as close to a baseball museum outside of the Hall of Fame as, like a living, breathing museum that is still being used for baseball.
Right.
And he may not be wrong. It may be aesthetically a more appropriate fit there. I just didn't think the defender of what constitutes worthy art today would be Sully.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
I love it. I love it. And now, Dan Bernstein Unfiltered and 312 Sports present this Olympic update.
Well, thank you, Dan. So here's what happened. What?
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I said thank you, Dan. It was
no,
very
you didn't. You said thank you, Dan.
Oh no, that was like a big snort from my being stuffy and have a.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at you.
No, you were laughing.
I like how you're into it. It's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
so sincere.
All right, you need some tissue. I'm sorry. Did I hurt you with wings? You okay?
No, you're just being a cockmaster.
Do you need an alternate emotional support host? Huh?
Bring him in. It's like the inflatable autopilot.
I leave the chair and he just inflates. Right. All right. Well, yesterday in cross country skiing, and I know how much you love it, the women's 10K final, Jessie Diggins of the U.S. won bronze. So we can add that to the medal count. Now I watched this last night. I don't know if you watched the ice dancing final.
I did not.
With Madison Chalk and Evan Bates.
Okay, those are famous names, right? Those are they were gonna win things.
Well,
they're and Bates,
married couple. They've been skating together for 15 years now, and they were a favorite to win gold. And they actually lost to a French team, and they won the silver. So Chalk and Bates got the silver, and they missed out on gold by 1.44 points. It was really, really close. But
is that a lot?
No, I mean they were right there. So it was Chalk and Bates, and the French team were right there, and then there was a gap of like 10 points to the bronze. I mean, so they were well ahead. So they unfortunately got the silver, but good on them. Women's moguls, I know you like that as well too. Two Americans actually medaled. Elizabeth Lemley got the gold, and Jalen Koff got the silver. I do want to point out the doubles luge, men's and women's final took place last night, Dan.
Okay.
That's where you have people stacked on top of each other on the luge. So it's not bad enough for one person to go down at 1,000 miles an hour. You have someone on top of you as well, which is fun. I think something we're going to compete in together in 4 years. Italy took the gold in men's and women's.
What?
What?
We're going to compete in that?
Yes. Well, we're trying out. I don't know. I just going to let you know.
I think the rallying cry of doubles luge is, get off me.
Now.
Right. That's all they're saying all the way down.
See, I don't think you should be stacked. I think you should be side by side, and the goal is to get your partner off as you're going down the hill.
You're just kind of shoving each other?
Yes. You're trying to see who you can push off. All right, and then, where'd my screen go? There we go. So Italy took the gold in men's and women's doubles luge yesterday. The men's 1,000-meter final for speed skating. I don't know if you saw this too. Very, very cool. I saw this. Jordan Stolz, S-T-O-L-Z, he took the gold for America, and he actually set an Olympic record as well. Jordan Stolz, I think he might be 21, 22 years old, from Wisconsin, and had a really, really great run. So won the 1,000 meters gold for speed skating. Men's hockey actually starts today for the U.S. team. They play at 2:10.
Are we doing this?
Latvia? What?
Are we gonna all agree to pretend to get into hockey for this?
All right, save that for 1 second. Put a pin in it because we'll talk about that.
Okay.
U.S. and Latvia 2:10 today. Denmark and Germany also at 2:10. Those are the four teams in Group C together. Okay. Canada right now is playing Czechia, and they're leading 2-0. Canada is the favorite to win the gold, Dan, for men's hockey at a plus 115. The U.S. team is a plus 175.
Okay.
So men's hockey today at 2:10. And then Chloe Kim goes for the gold medal today in the snowboard half pipe final. If she does get the gold, she'll be the first snowboarder ever to win 3 consecutive gold medals. So Shaun White, he's won 3 gold medals for snowboarding, but they weren't consecutive years or consecutive Olympics.
Okay.
So she'd be the first one to do it ever. Chloe Kim, by the way, her boyfriend, Myles Garrett.
Really?
Yeah, and he was there supporting her on last night. Very cool to see that.
That's awesome.
Had a giant camera with a giant lens on it, was taking pictures, and yeah, very, very cool. So she'll be the first snowboarder ever, if she wins the gold medal, to win 3 straight Olympics gold medals.
Wow. So between Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles and Myles Garrett and Chloe Kim, there's some interesting like NFL collections to
Power
a lot
couples.
of medals. Yeah.
But if we're putting money on it, I'm taking Garrett and Kim.
As far as how well, it's a more accomplished.
If you get them in the ring or something.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, yeah. I mean, they win both. It's a more accomplished NFL player and a more accomplished Olympian. Yes.
Yeah, and if they went to a fight, like a couples boxing match.
Simone Biles is 4'6".
Yeah,
right?
Myles Garrett's like 7 foot.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I would take him.
Okay, but they have to do it like Master Blaster from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Or you could do like
chicken fights.
Yeah,
in
chicken
the pool.
fights. Yeah, in the pool. We could do that. That'd be great.
Okay.
All right, and then the medal count here for you right now. Oh my God, Italy on top with 14 medals, Norway with 13, and they're also now tied with the U.S. at 13. So America's jumped up. So 14, 13, 13. Austria with 11, Japan 9, Sweden, and France with 8.
This has
Italy's on
been
top.
A 312 Sports Olympic update. But let me also note too. Oh wait, hold on. I already did the outro. This has been an Olympic update. Olympics, 312 Sports. Important. We are intoning things in broadcaster voice. I also want to say though, it is bullshit what's going on with Vladislav Haraskevich, the Ukrainian skeleton racer, who has been disqualified because his helmet depicts his country's athletes and coaches that have been killed in the war.
Oh, yeah.
They disqualified the guy because of his helmet, because of people who died in a war. That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right, but you also have to understand, are there standards that they have for the uniforms? Like at Wimbledon, you have to wear all white, correct?
Yeah, I understand that. But baseball is supposed to do that too. And people always on their caps and their shoes, they write names of people, and everybody looks past it because, they're honored, or they have the, guy's jersey hanging in the dugout or whatever they do. This is, it's a little strong army, a little much. Just let the guy wear his helmet.
Yeah. Did you see the coach for Finland, the ski jumping team, got sent home?
For drinking, yes.
For drinking, yes.
I don't know if it was for drinking or doing something after drinking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's no more details in the story.
My guess it's the latter. Alcohol. My guess is that there's no way somebody from Finland wouldn't be allowed to drink. My guess is there was a behavioral issue that was tied to drinking.
So got too drinky and then something happened.
Dad did something probably not good.
All right, so you asked the question about, are we really doing this for hockey?
I just want to know what the plan is. Are we getting all excited for men's hockey to do the thing?
Can we just say, make a proclamation that it's on an individual basis? If you feel it, then do it. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Like we shouldn't force people to be excited about men's hockey.
Okay.
If you're not into it.
No,
like, I get into it. I like Olympic hockey, so I'll watch and I'll be excited for it if they were to win a medal. But if you're not interested in hockey, then hey, then go with that too.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that was just known what we're doing here, because I know that there are like roving packs of heated rivalry fans walking around looking for things in which to be hockey interested. And go ahead, okay, like whatever knocks your socks off, go ahead and if you want to wave the flag for men's hockey, I'm asking if this is going to be a thing, and you're saying maybe.
Again, let's go on an individual basis. If you want to make it a thing, then make it a thing. If you don't, then you don't have to. You're not required to.
Good. I think that's a wise choice on your part, and I will
adhere to that.
Defer to your judgment.
All right, sounds good.
But I may have the game on today. 2:10, you say?
Yeah,
they
2:10. 2:10. They play Latvia
with Latvia.
Yep. And then who plays at the same time is Denmark and Germany. So that's Group C. Denmark, Germany, the U.S., and Latvia.
Okay, that's all Group C.
That's all Group C.
And you have to win your group or finish in the top 2? How does it work to make the medal round?
I think you have to win your group.
Okay.
I think you have to win your group to make the medal round.
All right.
Where the women's U.S. hockey team has already won their group. They clinched it. They're 4-0.
Oh, they're stomping everybody.
Yeah, and they should. Yeah, they should. I mean, they're obviously a heavy favorite to win the gold medal and should take that. And as I gave you the odds there, the Canada men's team plus 115 and the men's U.S. team plus 175. And then from there, it's like plus 2,000. Yeah, so.
Okay. I don't know if we're allowed to talk now that I've already said the conclusion to our Olympic update. I think we're violating the rules here once it's been concluded. We follow parliamentary procedure here.
What did we do wrong?
Because I read the conclusion and you played the music. And it's like a cloture vote of some kind. I want to make sure that we're allowed to continue talking about it once the closing music has played for the Olympic update.
All right, well, let's stop talking about it right now.
Now can I talk about it?
No.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We're done.
So I'll just close it. This has been Dan Bernstein Unfiltered for Thursday.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.